Get them 20s while they crawl. I've been praying that my enemy fall. Nigga, just wanna pop. And I hope you bow too. And if you why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Trying to build my own city, homie. Enough room to put my niggas on it. Then start a couple business on it. Fuck any heathen never shitted on me. Yeah. Public housing we done lived through. Trying to put that in my real view. Gold rolls, what I still do. I can see the picture with a clear view. Gotta separate the snakes. And all you fuck niggas that's gon' hate. Daily pray to God I don't catch another case. But that's a small risk that I feel I gotta take. Only certain niggas, they gon' feel this. Still deliver verses on that real shit. If I get a couple million, I'ma bust this shit down with these children. I just wanna bow. For my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Look at them 20s while they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. And I hope you bow too. And that be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Yo, get up out of pounds, homie. Got killers with them rounds on them. Look like I'm fed from the drum. Look, don't make me make the reaper rain down on them. I can give a fuck if you rock blue. And I was Sue Woo from the Fruittown crew. Cops still shoot us every time we move. They hate you, nigga, like they hate me too. Just know that brotherhood is a weapon. Build another zone, get protected. Too many sisters in the city been molested. Now I'm stacking soldiers off the block like it's Tetris. Woo. Know that truth, it give you chills, don't it? Steady ringing in your ears, won't it? If I'm blessed to make a meal, I'ma bust that shit down with my real homies. I just wanna bow. For my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Look at them 20s while they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. And I hope you bow too. And that be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Yeah. To all them children, you grow up with parents strung out on drugs. Yeah. I just wanna bow. Hope you do too. And I hope you do too. Yeah. Man, to the brother that had a real, and she left him for whatever reason. Yeah. I just wanna bow. I hope you do too. And to the sister, you know what I'm saying, that had that nigga leaving. Yeah. Nigga, I just wanna bow. So my niggas is locked up. I hope you do too. Man, I hope you niggas see the light of day. Yeah, I just wanna bow. Yeah, I just wanna bow.
Test 1, 2. 2. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. The Lord said, confession good for the soul. So right now, all I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. The decisions that I made were from the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I ever wanted was to be a gangster. Little did I know I was in danger. Decisions that I made were from the Lord's anger. Prayed to him all the time and I was just a stranger. All I wanted was to be a gangster. And shot call to be known with them niggas letting shots off. Either that or the right hand to the top dog. Funny how we see vanity, not the lives lost. Can't be focused on a life that's hopeless. Out there pumping, not knowing the Lord will kill you for that hocus pocus. Used to roll with niggas that cook dope with weaponry. Same ones claim they love you. I had your life in jeopardy. And I know my mother wants success for me. But that G should take a girl straight to ecstasy. Remember running with bruh, even though we did the wrong thing. My life would've been a lot different if I fell up under Rob's wing. Was too sincere for a wicked game. Shame the Lord's name. Now we afflicted with pain. All I ever wanted was to be respected by stand-up niggas. Not knowing that them handcuffs
Salakia. All right, Most High in Christ, just clap it up. Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Barakatah, all my brothers. Yahweh Shemar Allah Thabah Shem Yahweh Shah to all my sisters. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. I'm here in Durham, North Carolina. Priest and officer 500 Thabawan holding down the Sabbath service with my brother, priest and officer 50 Yanazar. Okay, so we're going to get right into it, brother, if you could. Okay. Also, before you do that, give me 1 second. Let me just check the live to make sure that the audio is Tawab. Bear with me just a second. Yeah, it's all good. So you go ahead, brother. Most High in Christ. And as we currently don't have a third priest, I'm saying to read, we're just gonna go ahead and start with these prayers. So just give me 1 second. Okay. Okay. No sweat. All right. So with that, Imajim, which means to stand. Wapan Yakwadam, which means turn and face to east. Can't pass me the first one. We're going to start off with these prayers. We're going to start off with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew.
Salaki. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Zaba'ah, Ratazayaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathanawa, Lakam, Cow, Yawam, Wasalakanawa, Kabawath Wanawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawath Wanawa, Wala Saba Nawa, Banasaya one, a ball, Hawashaya Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Amalakwath, Wa'ala, Warathaparith, La'awalumium, Aman.
In English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
Prayer for power, the Hakak in the Hebrew. Oh, Salaki. Calm that one. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Baba Kashah. The Thunler Nawa. Hakak. La Para'ah. Kal Maka'ala. Wakal Malawan. Hakak. La Tahar. Har Matazarium. Hakak. Lahakayim. Lahaquium. Hamathayim. Hamathium. Hakak. Al-Rakawath. Hatama'Allah. Lagarashan. Bahashem Yahweh Shai. The Wada Amun.
Pull the belt up a little bit too. Okay. There you go. Yeah, now you just gotta slide. There should be another tight. Okay. Yeah. You gotta do that right now. Let's put it down for now. Salakia, prayer for the blessing. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Why Yahweh Shah? In English, right? Salakia, my bad. Salakia. We're in the English for the prayer for the power. That's my fault. The prayer for the power to Hakak in the English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of
and
sickness.
all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Pray for the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatha Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shai. Wa Mayaka Allah. Wa Allahim. Wa Allahim. Salakia. Allahayim. Matazabaya. Matazabaya. Alawap Yahana. Ha Alawapium. Ha Saranyam. Ha Quatazayoyim. Ha Kayayoyim. Waha Akwathian. Yahweh Ba'ashem. Yahweh Shai. The water Amun.
In the English, bless you, Yahweh. And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohana.
Commanding General Yohana.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it. Psalm 121 in the Hebrew. Aisha'ah. Ayanya. Al-Haharium. Mahayan. Yaba'ah. Isaiah. Ma'aim. Yahweh. Aisha. Shamayam. Wa'arataza. Al-Yathan. Lamawat. Regalka. Al-Yanawam. Shamarka. Hana. La'ah. Yanawam. Wala'ah. Yayashan. Shawamar. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shamarka. Yahweh. Tazolka. Al-Yad. Yamyaka. Yawamam. Hashemash. La'ah. Yakaka. Wayarak. Balayallah. Yahweh. Yashamarka. Makal al-Rai. Yashamar. Athnapashka. Yahweh. Yashamar. Taza'atka. Wabawa'aka. Ma'atha. Wa'ai.
In the English, I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
He
will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasha'Allah shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore.
The 83rd Psalm in the Hebrew. Alahayim. Al-Damaya Laka. Al-Fakarash. Wa Al-Fashakwat. Al. Kayahana. Awayabiaka. Yamayawan. Ra'ash. Al-Imaka. Ya Irayamwa. Sawada. Wayatha. Ya Aitazawa. Ya Aitazawa. Altaza Pawanyaka. Amarwa. Laka. Lakawa. Wanakakiram. Magawa. Wala'ah. Yazakar. Sham Yasha'Allah. Iwada. Kaya. Nawa Aitazawa. Nawa Aitazawa. Laba. Yakadwa. Ilyaka. Alyaka. Barayath. Yakarathwa. Aholia, Alawam, Wa Yashamai, Alayam, Mawa Abba, Wahagarium, Gabal, Wa Imawan, Wa Imalak, Palashath, I'm Labanya. Okay, I skipped the line. What? I'm Yeshabia. Tazawar. Gam Ashawar. Nalawa. Imam. Hayawa. Zarawai. Labanya Lawat. Salah. Aishalahum. Kamadian. Kasaya. Sara'ah. Kayabian. Banakol. Kayash one. Slaki. Nashamadwa. Ba'aya Daira. Hayawa. Daman. La Adama. Shayathamwa. Nada. Yabmawa. Kairab. Wakaza Abba. Wakaza Bak. Wakarazo. Mana'ai. Kal Nasaya Kamwa. Alahaya. Oksalaka. Ashar. Amarwa. Naya Rasha. Lanawa. Ath. Na'awath. Alahayim. Alahaya. Shayathamwa. Kagogala. Kukwash. Lapanya Rawaka. Ka'ash. Thabia Iria Ya Ira. Wakalaba. Fahalat. Talahat. Salakia. Talahat. Harayam. Khan. Faradapma. Basa Irika. Wabasa. Wabasa. Wapathka. Thabahalam. Mala'ah. Panyaham. Kwalawan. Waya Bakwashwa. Shamka. Yahawa. Yabashwa. Waya Baholwa. Aija'aid. Waya Kaparwa. Waya Abadwa. Waya Da'aiwa. Kaya Atha. Shamka. Yahawa. Labadka. Ilyawan. Al-Kaharatazar.
In the English, keep not thou silence.
Keep not thou silence.
O Yahweh, hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh.
For lo,
thine
enemies,
enemies
make a tumult.
Make a tumult.
And they that hate thee,
have
lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel. Against thy people. And consulted against. Thy hidden ones. They have said. Come. And let us cut them off. From being a nation. That the name of Israel. May be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together. With one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. Of Moab. And the Hagarenes. Gabal. And Ammon. And Amalek. The Philistines. With the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them. As unto the Midianites. As to Sisera. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kison. Which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles. Like Oreb. And like Zeeb. Yea. All their princes. As the Ba. And as Almunah. Who said. Let us take to ourselves. The houses of Yahweh. In possession. Oh my power. Make them like a wheel. As the stubble before the wind. As the fire burneth the wood. And as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest. And make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. That they may seek thy name. Oh Yahweh. Let them be confounded. And troubled forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. That men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth.
SARS. Shah, which means he's seated.
Council, we're in Leviticus, correct? You're gonna get it right now, exactly where we left off. Just hold on just a second. I know last week we started Leviticus chapter 20 and 10. Just bear with me just 1 second. I think we only did 6. But let me just get the exact one. I must have went over. Did I go over the time last week? Here we go.
Slight.
No sweat.
That's why we cut it short.
Yeah. Oh no, that was a precept I was looking for. So just go on Leviticus chapter 20. I know we did 6 because you started, right? So I know we did 6. Okay.
10.
Let's see, Leviticus chapter 20. Started at 10. 7. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We ended at 17, so that was the last one we read. So we started at 18. Come on, the water, brother. The book of Leviticus, chapter 21 and verse 18 is where we're starting today. 21 and 18. Come on. Leviticus chapter 21 and verse 18. So right now in Leviticus, we're dealing with a lot with the laws. You understand? We're dealing with the laws, we're dealing with the statutes, we're dealing with the commandments, breaking it all the way back down. You know what I mean? Some of these, again, are going to just sound like, wow, like, we didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Or something we never heard before. Not because the law changed, but some of the statutes got, I would say, somewhat amended in a way. You understand? There are some slight deviations. The laws have not changed. You still can't eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. But again, some of these certain statutes and things like that, like what we're about to read is about, if you have an ailment or something like that. You know what I mean? I believe that some of these were amended in some way. You know what I mean? Where it's not as strict on, you can't come into the congregation if you got like a broken hand or something like that. You know what I mean? But we're going to read it right now. You got that, brother? You can read it in the Hebrew first.
Khan of the one Khan.
Tell them where you at.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 21, verse 18, in the Hebrew. Kaya, Kal, Ayash, Ashar, Bun, Mawum, La'ah, Yakarab, Ayash, Iwar, Awa, Pashak, Awa, Karam, Awa, Shawawar, verse 19. Iwa, Ayash, Ashar, Yahaya, Ban, Shabar, Ragol, Awa, Shabar, Yada. Verse 20. Awa, Gakan, Awa, Dakwa, Awa, Fabalol, Ba'ayanawa, Awa, Garab, Awa, Ralapak, Awa, Marawak, Ashak, or Ashaka. Verse 21. Kal, Ayash, Ashar, Bawa, Mawum, Mazara'ai, Aharon, Hakahan la'a Yagash Lakakwara Yab Af Ashar Yahweh Mawum Bun Af Lakam Alahayawa La'a Yagash Lahakwara Kwara Yab. Verse 22. Lakam Alahayawa Makwara Makadashia Salakia Hakwa Dashium Hakadashium Wamun Hakadashium Ya'akol 20 verse 23. Atka Al Haparakath La'a Yaba'a Wa'al Hamazabak La'al Yagash Kaya Mawun Bun Salakia Bawa Wala'ah Yakalol Af Makadashia Kaya Anya Yahweh Makadashium. Verse 24. Wayadabar Mashah Al Aharan Wa Al Banyawa La'al Wa'al Salakia Wa'al Kal Banya Yasha'ala. The book.
Pick it up back in the English now.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 21, verse 18 in the English. For whatsoever man he be that hath a blemish, he shall not approach a blind man or a lame, or he that hath a flat nose, or any superfluous, or anything superfluous. Verse 21. Or a man that is broken-footed or broken-handed. Verse 20. Slocky, that was verse 19. Verse 20. Or crooked back, or a dwarf, or that hath a blemish in his eye, or be scurvy or scabbed, or hath his stones broken.
Right now, you're hearing all of these different things that a person cannot have, but it's going to clarify it a little more in just a second. Read verse 21.
Verse 21. No man that hath a blemish of the seed of Aaron.
Go ahead.
The priest shall come nigh to offer the offerings of the Lord made by fire.
Read on.
He hath a blemish, he shall not come nigh to offer the bread of his.
So this was talking
God.
Specifically about the priest. You could not be a priest if you were a dwarf. You could not be a priest if you were crook-backed, or if you had a broken foot. Or by broken foot doesn't just mean like you play some basketball and broke your foot. It's like if you had like a club foot or some kind of, you know what I'm saying, some kind of ailment, some kind of defect on your foot or your hand, you could not be a priest. You could not have any blemishes. You couldn't be blind and be a priest. Deaf, you couldn't have any of those things. You had to be, for all intents and purposes, a healthy, regular dude of normal height. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't even be too short. And you know what I'm saying, to be a priest. Get out. What you got? As far as I know, Khan, I don't think I've never seen or heard it say, because now we're priests under the order of Melchizedek, right? So this does not apply now. You know what I mean? So I believe you can be a priest and be a dwarf. So if you're watching right now, you know what I mean? No, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being serious. If you're watching right now, if you're a brother and you happen to have dwarfism, or you on the shorter side or something like that, hey, get an all black, man. Get an all black. You know what I mean? As far as I know, there's nothing preventing you from being a priest. Of course, I'll get clarification on it, but I have never heard it said that you cannot be a priest if you are a dwarf. Go ahead, brother. Keep reading.
Verse 21. Salakia. Verse 22. He shall eat the bread of his God, both of the most holy and of the holy. Verse 23. Only he shall not go in unto the veil,
right,
nor come nigh unto the altar, because he hath a blemish. What exactly is the veil at this point?
Oh, I think it's a veil over the because the altar is like behind it. So let me see real quick. 1 second.
Okay, understood.
See, it says if you go look up the blue letter, it says the parakath, a veil which in the holy tabernacle separated the holy place from the holy of holies. So there was like levels to get to. Like the altar was like the holy of holies. Only a very, 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 very select few people could go back there. And there was a veil to separate the two. Okay? What you got, Sadat? I wouldn't say that it equates to it, but the concept is similar. You know what I'm saying? The concept is similar. It would be almost as if you're on it, right? Because it would be like the podium where only officers. But imagine there was another podium behind us where only captains could go. And then one behind it where only generals could go, or something like that. It would be like that. Like the Holy of Holies, the altar, even some of Aaron's sons could not go to. You understand? Go ahead, brother.
The water out of one. Because he hath a blemish, that he profane not my sanctuaries, for I, the Lord, do sanctify them. Verse 24. And Moses told it unto Aaron and to his sons and to all the children of Israel.
Now, again, because we don't have a third priest to read, we're going to go ahead and just keep going straight through. We're going to jump now to Leviticus chapter 22 and verse 1. Brother, you want to read that in the Hebrew?
Count
the water. I'll probably get the next one after this. Yeah, brother.
The book of Leviticus chapter 22, verse 1 in Hebrew. Wayadabar, Yahweh, al-Mashah, la-Amar. Verse 2. Debar al-Aharon, wa-al, Banyawah, Wayan, Zarawah, Makadashia.
What verse you in?
20, verse 2. Makadashia, Banya, Yasha'ala.
Makadashia.
Yeah, Makadashia. Salakia. Makadashia, Banya, Yasha'ala, Wala'ah, Yakalowa, Ath, Shem, Kadashia, Ashar, Makadashiam, Laya, Anya, Yahweh. Verse 3. Amar, Alahum, Lada Rathiakum, Kal, Ayash, Ashar, Yakorab, Makol, Zaraikum, Al, Hakadashiam, Ashar, Yakadayasha, no, Yakwadayashawa, Yakwadayashawa, Dayashua.
In verse 3, right?
Kana one kan.
Yakwadayashua.
Wakadayashua.
Yakwadayashya.
Wakwadayashya. Banya. Yasha'ala. La Yahweh. Watama Athwa. Aliyawa. 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 Wanakaratha, Hanapash, Hahawa'a, Malapanya, Anya, Yahweh. Verse 4. Ayash, Mazara'ai, Aharon, Wahawa'a, Tazara, Wa'ai, Tazara, Wa'ai, Awa, Zab, Bakadashium, La'a, Ya'akol, Aid, Ashar, Yatahar, Wahag, Naga'ai, Bakol, Tama'ah, Napash, Awa, Ayash, Ashar, Salagit, Taza'ah, Mama Nawa, Wakabath, Shab, I don't know. Shab Kabath, Shakabath, Zara'ai. Verse 5. Awa, Ayash, Ashar, Yaga'ai, Bakal, Sharatazah, Ashar, Yatama'ah, Lawa, Awa, Ba'adam, Ashar, Yatama'ah, Lawa, Lakol, Tama'athwa. Verse 6. Napash, Ashar, Thaga'ai, Bawa, Watama'ah, Ad, Ha'irab, Wala'ah, Ya'akol, Man, Hakadashium, Kaya, Rakatazah, Bashawawa, Bamayam. This is the last one. Verse 7. Waba'ah, Hashamash, Watahar, Wa'akar, Ya'akol, Man, Hakadashium, Kaya, Lakamawa, Hawa'ah. The book of Leviticus, chapter 22, verse 1 in the English. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 2, speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, that they separate themselves from the holy things of the children of Israel, and that they profane not my holy name in those things which they hallow unto me. I am the Lord, if I may, sir. So that explains why later on they were killed when they burnt that different fire, because they were told, don't do anything other than what? Okay. Most High in Christ. Water. I am the Lord. Verse 3. Say unto them, whosoever he be of all your seed among your generation that goeth unto the holy thing which the children of Israel hallow unto the Lord, having his uncleanliness upon him, that soul shall be cut off from my presence. I am the Lord. I think that's perfectly clear.
We do the same thing now to a degree where a brother, you know what I'm saying, if he's unclean, then he cannot, he can't come to class, he can't come to the feast, he can't come to. Does that mean that the brother can't be out in the world? Of course not. But he cannot come to anything that is, commissioned by the Lord, a class, you know what I'm saying, or something of that nature, the Sabbath service, right? I don't think we've got into that. I think we're coming up on it. We haven't got to that yet, where it talks about the seed of copulation. You understand? If you have sex with your woman, you know what I mean, or however your seed of copulation is released, you are now unclean and you cannot come to things. You understand? And of course, we also know if you deal with your rib and she's on a flower, if by accident or something, it can happen. You're unclean for a certain amount of time and things like that. This is where you cannot. If you also got what you got. I was gonna say also, if you've been near a dead body, if you go to a funeral or something like that, you're unclean for a dispensation of time. Go ahead, brother. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Come. Sundown. So, like you said, the day starts at sundown. So the Sabbath day started last night whenever the sun went down. You got to look at your phone and find out when the sun went down. But you're unclean until the even. So if you have sex in the morning or in the afternoon or whatever, you're unclean until the even. Of course, you got to wash yourself and everything, but you're unclean until the even. If you have sex after the even, then you're unclean until what? The next even. You know what I'm saying? Because that's that day, right? Which is why brothers in here, we know this is the work we do. You know what I mean? It's just this is what the Lord chose for us. You know what I'm saying? He put us up in here, Most High in Christ, the water, Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh shot for that. You understand? But yeah, there is no sex in this. I was about to say, right, in the champagne room or in any room on Saturday or it's like on Friday night. You understand? Unless you get that text, camp is clipped. I would still be weary because you never know. We might have some other tasks to perform. Get up. We still have Sabbath service. But if camp is clipped after the Sabbath service, brother, you go home and you know what I mean, and tie fire, do your thing. I represent. You know what I mean? Yeah, before that, nah, you can't do that. Go.
Verse 4. What man soever of the seed of Aaron is a leper or hath a running issue, he shall not eat of the holy things until he be clean. Whoso toucheth anything that is unclean by the dead, or a man whose seed goeth from him.
Like we just said,
Verse 5. Whosoever toucheth any creeping thing whereby he may be made unclean, or a man of whom he may take uncleanness, whatsoever uncleanness he hath.
Right, because again, so if a brother went to a funeral, right, he's unclean for 7 days, right? If I go and salute, if let's say I was at a funeral, I'm unclean for 7 days, and I go and salute a brother who wasn't at that funeral, he's unclean to the even. He now becomes unclean because of my uncleanness, even though he wasn't even at the funeral. You understand? But it's just his time is shorter. You know what I mean? He's not going to be unclean for 7 days. He's going to be unclean until sundown. You know what I mean? But in our culture, again, cleanness was very, 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 very important. You know what I'm saying? So we had quarantine and things like that way before COVID. You understand? Keep going, brother.
Verse 5. Or whosoever touches any creeping thing whereby he may be made unclean, or a man of whom he may take uncleanness, whatsoever uncleanness he hath. Verse 6. The soul which hath touched any such shall be unclean until evening, and shall not eat of the holy thing unless he wash his flesh with water. Take a bath.
Most High in Christ.
Leviticus, this is chapter 7. Verse 7, Salakia, chapter 22,
see,
verse 7.
Verse 6 says, yeah, it shall be unclean until the even. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Verse 7, and when the sun is down.
When the sun is what?
When the sun is down.
When the sun is down, okay,
he shall be clean.
He shall be clean. There are fake Israelites. I've seen it with my own eyes. There are fake Israelites who try to say that the day starts when the sun comes up. I've seen it.
Man, we ain't even going to discuss that shit.
The sun comes up. I've seen them say it. Meanwhile, we're reading the scripture right here that tells you they are unclean until the even. Okay? When the sun goes down. Go ahead.
Lord have mercy. And shall afterward eat of the holy things, because it is his food.
Most High in Christ. Now I'm going to pick it up in Leviticus chapter 22 and verse 8 in the Hebrew. Okay, Salaki. All right. The book of Leviticus chapter 22 and verse 8. Nabala, Watarapa, La'a, Yaakol, Latama'a, Baha, Anya, Yahweh. Verse 7. It's like verse 9. Salakia. Washamarwa, Ath, Mashamarthia, Wala'a, Yashawa, Alyuwa, Kata'a, Wamath. Let me make sure this word is correct. Salaki, 1 second. Awath. Khan. Wamathwa, Bawa, Kaya, Yakalol, Hawa, Anya, Yahweh, Makwadashum. Verse 10. Wakol, Zara, La'a, Yaakol, Kodash, Dawashab, Kahun, Washakayar, La'a, Yaakol, Kodash. Verse 11. Wakahun, Kaya, Yakwana, Napash, Kwanayun, Kasapwa, Hawa'a, Yaakol, Bawa, Waya. So let me get this word correct as well. Wa Yalayad, Bayathwa, Hum, Yaakolwa, Balakamwa. Kind of sound like something with bread or food. Verse 12. Wabath, Kahun, Kaya, Thahaya, La'ayash, Zar, Hawa'a, Sakya, Bathar Wamath, Hakwadashim, La'a, Ta'akol. Verse 13. Wabath, Kahun, Kaya, Thahaya, Allah, Sakya, Allah Mana, Wagar Washa, Wazarai, Ayun, La, Washaba, Al, Bayath, Abaya, Kana I warrior, Malakam, Abaya, Abaya, Da'akol. Salaki. Okay. Was that? That's random. Ayun, La. What's like Ta'akol, Wakol, Zar, La'a, Ya'akol, Bawa. Verse 14. So I started. Yeah, 14 is the last one. The book of Leviticus chapter 22 and verse 14. Wa Ayash, Kaya, Ya'akol, Kwadash, Basha Gaga, Wayasap, Hama Shayathwa, Alyuwa, Wanathun, Lakahun, Ath, Hakwadash. That's the end of verse 14. If you could read it in the English.
Khan. The book of Leviticus, chapter 22, verse 8 in the English. That which dieth of itself or is torn with beast, he shall not eat to defile himself therewith. I am the Lord. Verse 9. They shall therefore keep my ordinance, lest they bear sin for it and die thereof. If they profane it, I, the Lord, do sanctify them. Verse 10, there shall no stranger eat of the holy thing. A sojourner of the priest or a hired servant shall not eat of the holy thing. this, if I may.
Please.
This is a scripture I think Commander General Yohana used against the Proud Boys.
Oh, come.
When they were trying to say anybody could come in.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of, I believe this is one of the scriptures he used pertaining to who the sojourner was and who the stranger was.
Come. Got you.
Most High in Christ. Verse 11. But if the priest buy any soul with his money, he shall eat of it. What does that mean?
It might be someone who's like a servant staying in his house.
And he pays him.
So like, I need clarification on that, because the one person is an hired servant.
Con.
This is a priest buy any soul with his money, he shall eat of it. But he that is born in his house, they shall eat of his meat. I'm not sure too sure
so
on that one.
We'll get back on that. So that's 22 and 11. We try to ask that.
Okay. Let me write it down. Okay. Ask Cap. 1 second. I mean, it's singing. Leviticus 22
and 11.
And 11. Okay. Keep going, brother.
Verse 12. If the priest's daughter also be married unto a stranger, she may not eat of an offering of the holy things.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 13. If the priest's daughter also be married unto a stranger.
What stranger is this talking about? Is this talking about the Israelite, or is this talking about a heathen? I'm going to assume this is talking about the Israelite. Yeah. Because a priest's daughter
cannot marry a stranger.
Go ahead.
Of a heathen, I should say. Salaki Adawan. She may not eat of the offering of the holy things. Verse 13. But if the priest's daughter be a widow or divorced and have no child, and is returned unto her father's house as in her youth, she shall eat of her father's meat, but there shall no stranger eat thereof.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 14. And if a man eat of the holy things unwittingly, then he shall put the fifth part thereof unto it, and shall give it unto the priest with the holy thing. So that means, like, if you sacrifice an animal or you cook an animal, you got to give a fifth part of it to the priest.
Read that part again.
Verse 14. And if a man eat of the holy things unwittingly,
mm-hmm.
then he shall put the fifth part thereof unto it, and shall give it unto the priest with the holy thing.
I'm not sure, because it says when you eat the holy thing unwittingly. So if he ate it, how can he give a fifth part of what he ate?
Well, maybe he start eating it. I don't know.
It's possible. I mean, like I said, I had no qualms with telling you we are going to read a lot of things in this section in Leviticus that I will not understand, because most of this stuff we do not do, right? So I'll write this down. It's Leviticus. So I'm gonna just write down this whole part. Like, so we started at verse 8?
Yeah, Khan out of one Khan.
So start at verse 8, and we'll have him break it down all the way to verse 14. Keep going up.
Verse 15.
14.
No, 14 is the last one.
Khan. Okay, so then go to 15 in the Hebrew.
In the Hebrew, Khan out of one Khan. The book of Leviticus, chapter 22, verse 15 in the Hebrew. Wala'ah, Yakalowa, Ath, Kadashia, Banya Adasha Allah, Ath, Ashar, Yahya Mawa, La Yahweh. Verse 16. Yaha Shaya our thumb, one, Ashama, Ba'akalam, Ath, Kodashia Kaya, Anya, Yahweh, Makadashim. Verse 17. Wayadabar Yahweh al-Mashah la-Amar. Verse 18. Dabar al-Aharon wa al-Banyawa la-Ol Kal Banya Yasha Allah wa Amarath Alahum Ayash Mabayath Yasha Allah wa Mun Hagar Ba Yasha Allah Ashar wa Salaki Ya Quayarab Salakia wa Karayab Korabanwa Lakol Nadarayah Salakia Nadarayam Nadarayahum wa Lakal Nada Bawatham.
Verse when?
This is verse 18 towards the end. Nada Watham Ashar Quaraya Bawa La Yahweh La Ilah. Verse 19.
You started that.
We started at 15, Khan. So we go to 22, Khan. All right. Larataza Nakam Hamayam Zakar Babakwar Bakasha Bayam Bakasha Bayam Waba I Zayam. Verse 20. Kal Ashar Bawa Mawum La'a Fakwaraya Bawa Kaya La'a Lara Tazawa La Salakia Lara Tazawan Yahaya Lakam. Verse 21. Wa Ayash Kaya Rakwarayab Zabak Shalamayam La Yahweh La Pala'ah Nadar Awa Lana Deba Babakwar Awa Bataza Aw Basata'an Thamayam Yahaya Laratazawa Laratazawan Kal Mawum La'a Yahaya Bawa. The last one. I will wrath. Awa Shabawar Awa Karo Wataza Awa Yabalath Awa Garab Awa Yalapath La'a Thakwaraya Talakia Thakwaraya Bawa Allah.
Verse one?
Verse 22. It's the last one. This word. Thakwaraya Bawa.
Verse 22?
Yeah. This is the last one. We started at 15.
Good. It's the word you're saying I'm not seeing here, but go ahead.
Okay, it's in 22 on the third line. Thakwaraya Bawa.
I see it now. Thakwarayabwa.
Okay. Thakwarayabwa. Allah. La Yahweh. Wa Ashaf.
Wa'asha. It's a ha.
Wa'asha.
Wa'asha.
Wa'asha. Wa'asha. La'ah. Thasanawa. Mahum. Al. Hamazabak. La Yahweh. Go back to English.
Okay.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 22, verse 15 in the English. And they shall not profane the holy things of the children of Israel, which they offer unto the Lord. Verse 16, or suffer them to bear iniquity of trespass when they eat their holy things, for I, the Lord, do sanctify them. Verse 17, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto Aaron and to his sons, and to all the children of Israel, and say unto them, whatsoever he be of the house of Israel, or of the strangers in Israel, that will offer his oblation for all his vows, and for all his free will offerings, which they will offer unto the Lord for a burnt offering. Verse 19, ye shall offer at your own will a male without blemish of the beeves, or the sheep, or of the goats. Verse 20, but whatsoever hath a blemish, that shall ye not offer, for it shall not be acceptable for you. Verse 21, whosoever offereth a sacrifice of peace offerings unto the Lord to accomplish his vows, or a free will offering in beeves or sheep. What is a beeve?
I think it's a word that means like an ox.
Ox, con, out of one con. It shall be, I've never seen that word before. It shall be perfect to be accepted. There shall be no blemish therein. And verse 22, blind or broken or maimed.
Wow. You know why you never saw that word before?
What?
Because that is the plural of beef.
Oh, right.
So, like I said, oxen, it's a cattle.
Okay.
So beef is singular, but we use it as both. But back then they used, so instead of saying big, say beeves. So it's like saying multiple beef paws.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Verse 22. Blind or broken or maimed or having a wind or scurvy or scabbed, ye shall not offer these unto the Lord, nor make an offering by fire of them upon the altar unto the Lord. And you know what? You know, like when we read these things, you know, it gives you a good idea of what he's building into the culture. Like he's building these habits of being clean, checking your animal, making sure things are correct.
Damn right. Well, that's a great point.
You know, that's okay. Most I cry.
Please.
So also, like, again, is this one of those things where somebody gave something that was not perfect and there had to be a law made so you know to bring something perfect?
I wouldn't say that, but I would say that we I'd say a lot of things did happen. You know, we added with say like Cain and Abel in our history, where I'm saying the wrong sacrifices were given, or we started sacrificing unto a bunch of unclean things and gods and all this stuff. So he's trying to set it in order. But as far as, you know, the order of things, I wouldn't say that it's to rectify something that necessarily went wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's just you're right. That's a great way to use to establish this is how you do it. You know what I'm saying? So that way we consistently can do the same thing and we know what we have to do. You understand? Keep going, brother. The water. You started at 15, right?
Yeah, we did 22. You get up to 22.
Count. Did you read 22 in English, right? Okay, go ahead.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 22, verse 23 in the Hebrew. Washawar, Washa, Shawa Wa'ai, Wakwa Lawat, Nadaba, the Aisha, Athwa, Wala Nadar, La'a, Taza. Verse 24. Wama I waka thawath. No, is that correct? Waka thawath.
Verse what?
24, the second word. Waka thawath.
Correct.
Thwat out of water. Wanath wakwa. Wakara wath. La'a. Fakwara Yabawa. La Yahawa. Waba Avra Tazakum. La'a. Fa Aishawa. That was okay. Verse 25. Wamayaka Bun. Nakar La'a. Fakwaraya Bawa Ath Lakum Alahaya Kum Makol Allah Kaya Mashakathum Bahum Mawum Bum La'a Yaratazawa Lakum. Verse 26. Wadabar Yahweh al-Mashah la-Amar. Verse 27. Shawar Awa Kashab Awa Aiza Kaya Yawalad Wahaya Shaba'aith Yamayam Thakath Amawa Wamayawum Hashamaya Nawa Wahola Yarataza Lakwa Rabun Ashar La Yahweh. Verse 28. Washawar Awa Shah Athwa Wa'ath Banwa La'a Thashakatwa.
What verse you in?
28. Thashakatwa. The last line. Is that correct? Thashakatwa.
That's perfect.
By a womb. Akkad. Number 1. This should be the last one. 29.
No, 31. You started at 25, right?
No, we started at 20. We ended at
It got to be 25. Because 8, we started. No, you're right, Salakia. My bad. Because you started at 15
20,
before.
Then 22.
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So you started at 22. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. I got mixed up from before when we started at 18.
We ended at 21. We started at 22. We started this one at 22 in the Hebrew. I mean, at 23.
4, 5, 6, 7. We both started 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
We started at 22.
22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. You're absolutely right. My bad. I got mixed up before we had started at 18. No, you were right the first time.
Okay.
You were right the first time. We stopped at 28.
So we started 29 in the Hebrew.
After we finished the English.
So we go back to 23, 22, Salakia. The book of Leviticus, chapter 22, verse 22. We did read this. We might have went up.
No, we didn't.
Okay. Blind or broken or maimed or having a wind or scurvy or scabbed, ye shall not offer these unto the Lord, nor make any offering by fire of them upon the altar of the Lord. God. Verse 23, either a bullock or a lamb that hath anything superfluous.
Mm-hmm. Superfluous means like unnecessary. Okay. Go ahead.
Or lacking in his parts, that mayest thou offer for a free will offering, but for a vow it shall not be accepted. Mm-hmm. Verse 24, ye shall not offer unto the Lord that which is bruised or crushed or broken or cut, neither shall ye make any offering thereof in your land. That means for everybody, right? 25, neither from a stranger's hand shall ye offer the bread of your God of any of these, because their corruption is in them, and the blemishes be in them. They shall not be accepted for you.
Now, again, remember that a lot of this stuff has to do with, if it's like, it's a sacrifice. It's a demonstration to the Most High of your willingness to sacrifice. We haven't even gotten to like when you're giving these things up for a sin offering. We haven't got there yet, right? Right now, this is just, you know what I mean, to give an offering, you know what I'm saying, maybe a free will offering, or at a certain time when you had to make an offering. The reason why it has to be without blemish, why would the Most High want something without blemish? Mm-hmm.
Because he wants it, if I may, he wants everything pure and clean.
But it's more practical than that. A lot of this stuff seems real impractical. Like, why all of this? Why are we doing all of this? There's a practical reason. Imagine you're a farmer, or imagine you own a farm and you have cattle, and you have one cow that got freaking measles. Why would the Most High not want you to give that one up? Why would he not want you to sacrifice that one to him? Other than the fact, on the surface it's just, okay, it's not pure, but practically speaking.
Well, if I may.
Go ahead.
First of all, it's unclean.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I guess, practically he wants you to be in the habit of checking, examining.
Not quite. Go ahead. You're getting close. You close to it, but not quite. You would eat yourself. You got something? For time's sake, I'll give it to you. Because if you got a cow that has measles and you sacrifice to the Lord, who's doing who a favor? What are you really losing? You're a farmer. Who in the F was going to buy that damn measle up cow in the first place? Nobody. No one was going to buy that cow. So you're not really sacrificing anything. You understand? You're not giving anything up. You're giving away something that you probably would have ended up having to give away anyway. So you're gonna so Johnny, who owns the farm down the street, the little farm, and he's willing to take it off your hands, you're gonna give the Most High the same thing that you're gonna give away to some regular dude? Nah, I want the best you got, no blemish. I want the best. Why? Because you're actually losing something. You're actually sacrificing something. That means something for you to give away that cattle that has no blemish, that sheep that has no blemish. You're actually, it's like giving up money. Because that sheep with no blemish, you can sell that joint easily for whatever you sell your sheep for. But now you got to give it up to the Most High. That's a real sacrifice. You understand? So that's the practical purpose behind it. But go ahead, brother.
Verse 26. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 27, when a bullock or a sheep or a goat is brought forth, then it shall be 7 days under the dam And from the 8th day and thenceforth it shall be accepted for an offering made by fire under the Lord.
Let's see what
Salaki.
dam is.
It means like it's corralled or separated from other cows or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Dam, from the word and mother. It's like the mother, so it says, let me see. So it's being, okay, so it means when it's born, right? When a bullock or a sheep or a goat is brought forth, meaning it's born, then it shall be 7 days under the dam, the mother, and from the 8th day and thenceforth it shall be accepted for an offering by fire made unto the Lord. Meaning, while it's with his mother in the first 7 days, you can't do anything with it. You can't sacrifice it. It's not an acceptable offering until the 8th day. That's what it
means. Verse 28. And whether it be cow or ewe, ye shall not kill it and her young both in 1 day.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's easy. Verse 29.
Now, so now you're into the Hebrew now.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 22, verse 29 in the Hebrew. Wakaya. The Zabakwa. Zabak. Hawada. Thawada. Salakia. Thawada. La Yahweh. La Rataza. Nakam. That's Zabakwa. Verse 30. By a womb. Hawa'ah. Ya'akol. La'ah. Fawa. Faya. Rawa. Mamanawa. Aid. Bakwar. Anya. Yahweh. Verse 31. Washamaratham. Matazawathia. Mazatawathia. Wa'ai sayathum. Athum. Anya. Yahweh. Verse 32. Wala'ah. Vakalowa. Ath. Shum. Kadashia. Wana Kadashia the Kadash. Wana Kadash Thaya.
Perfect.
Bathwaka.
Bathwaka.
Bathwaka. Banya Yasha Allah. Anya Yahweh. Makodashakam.
It's just Makodashkam.
Mashkodashkam. No sha, no Okay, come. Verse 33.
So verse 2 should be the last one.
Hamawataza Yawah. Afakam. Ma'arataza. Ma'tazarayam. That's Egypt, right? Yeah. Lahayawath. Lakam. La'alahayam. La'alahayam. Anya. Yahweh. Come on, next chapter. The book Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 1 in the Hebrew. Wayadabar, Yahweh al-Mashah la-Amar. Verse 2. The bar al-Banya Yasha Allah wa Amarath Alaham Mawa Idea Yahweh Ashar Thakwara Awa Atham Makara Ayah Kodash Allah Ham Mawa Adia. So we go back. That was the last one. We go back to chapter 5 or 4. I think it was 25.
No, it was verse 29.
29.
Verse 29.
Hold on. Come on, man. Okay. I lost it. Let me find it back again.
So this next set will be the last one before we clip the Sabbath service. So we're going to read the English now, Leviticus chapter 22 and verse 29. Starting from there, we're going to read it in the English now, and then we're going to get into to close out.
Leviticus 22 and 29, right? Okay, the book of Leviticus, chapter 22, verse 29 in the English. And when ye will offer a sacrifice of thanksgiving unto the Lord, offer it at your own will. Verse 30. On the same day it shall be eaten up. Ye shall leave none of it until the morrow.
See that? So that's a sacrifice unto the Lord, but he told us to do what? To eat it. You understand? When I was a kid in Christian church, I saw little cartoons and things like that where they would show somebody put a sheep on some kind of hot furnace and just let it burn. You know what I mean? I didn't know when I would read sacrifice, I didn't know what that meant. You know what I'm saying? But we find out that the sacrifice just meant that we had to cook it and eat it. You know what I mean? And that was to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? There are some that are burnt offerings. There's some that it's a sacrifice. It's a burnt offering. You burning it up, and that's it. That's a gesture to the Most High to show him I'm willing to give up something for the Lord. You know what I'm saying? But this one right here, this is a sacrifice of thanksgiving unto the Lord. We're gonna eat that, okay? And we're not gonna leave none of it till tomorrow. You want no leftovers. All right, keep going.
I am the Lord. Verse 31. Therefore shall ye keep my commandments and do them. I am the Lord. Verse 32, Salakia. Neither shall ye profane my holy name, but I will be hallowed among the children of Israel. I am the Lord which hallow you. Verse 33. That brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am the Lord.
Now that's something going back to what you said, Sadak, when the Lord is just continually reminding us, listen, I'm your God. I took you out of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be holy unto you, so you're going to be holy unto me. He is establishing his relationship with us as a nation, which had never been done before. You understand?
That's right.
I say it never been done before. It had been done with our forefathers, right? But of course, we broke that covenant. You know what I mean? We started to do our own thing. We ended up in captivity. And after years, remember, we was in Egypt for what? Hundreds of years.
400 years, something like that.
Over 400 years. Just like now. And by the time we got out, we basically forgot that we had a relationship with the Most High. We knew, he's a Levite, we knew that. But as far as a God, we basically didn't think we had one. You know what I'm saying? Only a very select, small few of us were actually worshiping the Most High. Most of us were worshiping what? Egyptian gods.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We were entrenched in Egyptian culture, just like what? Just like how we're entrenched in American culture now. A black man in America thinks he's an American. You try to tell him different, how dare you? You understand? Keep going, brother.
Verse 2. Speak unto the children.
Leviticus 23 and you read verse 1 first.
Oh, Salakia. And the Lord spake unto Moses. The book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse 1. Salakia. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations. Even these are my feasts.
Even these are my feasts. So now, Most High in Christ, Where we at now? We done made it, Akim. We made it to Leviticus chapter 23. We are about to get the feast. You know what I'm saying? This chapter right here is what we read at every feast. You know what I'm saying? Every high holy day, we read Leviticus chapter 23. You know what I'm saying? It's going to break down all the feasts that we have to keep, the Passover and everything. I'm going to save it. We probably could do it today. I'm going to save it for next week. You know what I mean? Because it's always a joy to read, a pleasure to read. So next week, you know what I'm saying, we are going to today we ended at Leviticus 23 and 2. Next week, we're at Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 3. Ooh-wee. That's where we will be starting. Okay, Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 3. All right. Matter of fact, let me text it to my brother. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing, he'll be here next week, so no sweat. All right. But with that, we're gonna go ahead and start to close out the Sabbath service. So just up here for now, I mod you. Stand. Men of Israel, gird thyselves and prepare to salute the Torah. How about Shemal Shabrak? Yeah. Well done, brother. Yeah, about Shemal Shabrak. Yeah.
How about Shemal Shabrak? Yeah.
And with that, I mod him, which means to stand. Wapan Yakodam, which means to turn the face to east. We're going to close out. We're going to start with the Lord's Prayer. We're going to start in the Hebrew.
Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwaka, Zaba'ah, Ratazayaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'harataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashemayim, Latananawa, Lakam, Cow, Yawum, Wasalaknawa, Kabawathnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kawawathnawa, Wala'ah, Thabia Ayanawa, Banasaya 1, Abol, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwath, Waha'ala, Waratha Parith, La'awalamyam, Aman.
In the English, our Father,
which
art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
Hakak, the prayer for power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Baba Kashah. Nathun Lanawa. Hakak. La Para'ah. Okay. Kal Makala. Kal Makala. Wakal Madawa. Madawa. Hakak, Latahar, Hamatazarium, Hakak, Lahakium, Hamathium, Hakak, Al-Rakawath, Hatama'ala, Lagarishun, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Tawada Amun.
In the English, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal.
The power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
And all manner of disease.
And all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
The power to raise the dead.
The power to raise the
dead.
The
power against unclean spirits.
The power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
To cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
The prayer for the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatha Yahweh. Wa Yahweh Shai. Wa Mayaka Allah. Wa Alahayim. Matazabaya. Matazabaya. Alawap Yahana. Ha Alawapium. Ha Saranyam. Ha Katazayam. Ha Kotazayoyam. Ha Koyoyoyam. Wa Ha-Akwathia, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Tawada Amun.
In English, bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yahana. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you. So be it.
So be it. Psalm 121 in the Hebrew. Aisha'ah. Ayanya. Al-Haharium. Ma'ayan. Yaba'ah. Azaria. Ma'aim. Yahweh. Aisha. Shamayam. Wa'aratazar. Al-Yathun. Lamawat. Ragolka. Al-Yanawum. Shemarka. Hanala'ah. Yanawum. Wala'ah. Yayashun. Shawamar. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shemarka. Yahweh. Tazalka. Al-Yad. Yamyaka. Yawamam. Hashemash. La'ah. Yakaka. Wayarak. Balayallah. Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makalrai, Yashamar, Napashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazaatka, Wabawaatka, Mayatha, Wa'id Iwalum.
In the English, I will lift up mine eyes.
I will lift up mine eyes
unto the hills.
Until the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From which cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh.
Which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot.
He will not suffer thy foot.
To be moved.
To be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth
will not slumber.
Will not slumber.
Behold.
Behold.
He that keepeth Yasha'Allah.
He that keepeth Yasha'Allah.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade.
Yahweh is thy shade.
Upon thy right hand.
Upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
Nor the moon by night.
Nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee.
Yahweh shall preserve thee
from all evil.
From all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
And thy coming in.
And thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forward.
And even forevermore.
And even forevermore. The 83rd Psalm in the Hebrew. Alahayim. Al-Damiyalaka. Al-Fakarash. Wa Al-Fashakwat. Al-Kayahana. Awayabwaka. Awabyaka. Yahama. Yawun. Ra'ash. Al-Imaka. Ya'ira Yamwa. Sawada. Wayatha. Ya'itazawa. Al-Tazapawanyaka. Amarwa. Lakawa. Wanakakidam. Magawa. Wala'ah, Yazakar, Sham Yasha'Allah, Awada, Kaya, Nawa Aitazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Alyaka, Barayath, Yakarathwa, Aholwa, Adawam, Wa Yashamai, Alayam, Mawa'aba, Wa Hagarium, Gabal, Wa Imawan, Wa Imalak, Palashath, I'm Yashabia, Tazawar, Gam Ashawar, Nalawa, Amam, Hayawa, Zarawai, Yashabia, not Salakia, Labanya Lawat, Salah, Aishalum, Aishalaham, Kamadian, Kasaya, Sara'ah, Kayabian, Banakol, Kayash, Salakia, Kayashwan, Nashamadwa, Ba'ayadara, Hayawa, Daman, La Adama, Shathamwa, Nada, Yabmawa, Ka'arab, Wakaza'aba, Wakazaba, Wakazabak, Wakazatazo, Mana'ain, Kalnayas Nasaya Kamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nayarashah, Lanawa, Ath, Ne'awath, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shayathamwa, Kagogala, Kakwash, Lapanya Rawaka, Ka'ash, Faba'ira Ya'ira, Wakalaba, Dalahat, Harayum, Khan, Faradatma, Basa'iraka, Waza Wapathka, Sabahalam, Mala'ah, Panyahum, Kwalawum, Wayabashkwa, Wayabakwashwa, Salakia, Shemka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Wayabaholwa, Aija'aid, Waya Kaparwa, Waya Abadwa, Waya Dayawa, Waya Da'aiwa, Kaya Atha, Shemka, Yahawa, Labadka, Al Yawan, Al Kaharatazah.
In the English, keep not thou silence. O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarim, the Baal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zeeb. Yea, all their princes, as Abba, and as Amunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever.
trouble forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let him be put to shame.
Let him be put to shame
and perish.
That
men may know.
That
thou, whose name alone, is Yahweh. Art the most high. Over all the earth.
Sword, which means to turn. We just slew out. Men of Israel, we give the teacher one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Amanu Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Bashim al-Shabbat,
Yahweh Bashim al-Shabbat,
Amajim, Salaki, Yajim Matah, class dismissed. Let me go wash this out. Watch this.